Hello everybody, I hope everybody is having a great week. I hope that you are living your best life, making great and healthy choices. Today's topic is all about being toxic, and I feel the need to talk about this because I had an awakening recently and I realized something about myself that I was not ready to hear from a complete stranger. So I will tell you a little bit about myself just so you know where I'm coming from. In my life, I'm thriving. In terms of knowing what I want, the job that I have, my relationships with my family and my friends, like they're all healthy, good relationships. My environment is positive. My spirituality is pretty on point. Like I know what I want to do with my life. I know what my goals are and I'm doing really good. I feel like my life is pretty together financially. I'm good. Like everything is just good. There's only one part of my life that just wasn't good. And it wasn't because of anything coming from another end, but it's everything that was going on in here. So my relationship or my romance life was kind of like, not the best. And like I know I'm pretty smart, I'm pretty awesome, I'm pretty whatever, I'm not trying to say better or nothing, but just I know what I got going on here. And I guess I attract a lot of guys, whatever, but I just felt like, all right, like none of these guys are it. Like none of these guys are it. And then but of course, I would pick a toxic guy and be like, wow, this guy's so amazing. Where did I find him? In the trash can? Like, who cares? So my whole point of this is to say I had a rude awakening a few weeks ago. I was at the nail salon and some lady that I don't even know just came up to me and was like, your life is together. You have a really nice life. And I was like, you don't even know me, but I feel like you know me. Thank you. And then she goes on and she says, everything is good except for your love life because you have these toxic patterns. So of course I'm kind of like, I'm not toxic. How dare you? You don't know me. Who are you? And she kind of told me about myself. And everything she said was true because when she said it, like, I started reflecting immediately and I said, I'm toxic. Ooh, that's why that part of my life isn't solid. So my whole point of me saying this with you guys is that sometimes we are that toxic person and sometimes we're not being honest with ourselves. And there are moments where we are, or maybe there are people who are honest with themselves. Like I feel like I can be honest and be like, Jen, you were being a total jerk the other day and what's wrong? Like, there are some people who can be very honest with themselves, but sometimes you are blinded by what is going on in your life, by the patterns that you have, because you just picked this up and you've been doing it. And for you, it's normal, but in reality, it's toxic. So my whole reason for saying this is to say that sometimes we have to appreciate the complete strangers or the people in our life who are telling us that our shit stinks and that we're being a little bit toxic. Because realistically, you could be living the best life. You could have all your stuff together. You could have everything you've ever wanted. You could have the romance that you wanted. You could have, your financial status could be where it is. You could have, like great relationships. You could have all these things, but you can't get it if you're just wishing for it. We have to reflect and say, am I being toxic? Like, am I always broke because I got a shopping problem? Like, am I always, because I got a shopping problem, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, am I always broke because I be paying mad because I put myself in debt and I'm always taking vacations when I know I don't got the money for it? And, am I failing in school because I'm not studying? Like, we have to be realistic. Am I never in a good relationship because I always go for a toxic dude who gives me a challenge instead of a good guy who's secure and solid? Like, we have to be honest with ourselves and say, yo, I'm a little bit toxic. Because sometimes it's easy for us to look at other people and say, that person is toxic, that person, you know, this is what they do and this is how they live. But a lot of times we are that person, and we have to be honest with that, because you have to take accountability for your life. And I had to take, when that lady told me that and she was a stranger, I was like, the devil sent her. This can't be true. But I went home and I reflected and I was like, she was right. I'm toxic. Who am I fooling? I ain't fooling nobody. Like, who am I fooling? So I just wanted to share that with you, and just to again express that self-reflection is one of the best ways to evolve in any aspect of your life. You want to succeed in life, you have to reflect, and you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to be real with who you are and all the shitty parts of you as well as all the great parts of you. Because to every great person there is a shadow side, and I don't care what anybody says. Unless you're Jesus or a guru coming from above or an angel, I don't want to hear it. I know we all have parts of us that we don't show immediately, but they're inside of there's parts of us that aren't the nicest. And I know for me, I could be a little bit funny, and sometimes we're not funny with people, we're not mean with people, we may not be trying to be toxic in other people's lives, but because we're toxic with ourselves, we are out there projecting that into the world. And I just want to remind you that, again, it all goes back to self-love. It all goes back to being honest with yourself. And it all goes back to you knowing what you want. Because when you don't know what you want, you can't prepare yourself. Everything that you want in your life comes with a state of mind. I want to be this is what I really want. I want to be in a long-lasting relationship with the guy who is solid, who got a good head on his shoulders, who's gonna appreciate and love me and value me, and I can reciprocate that same energy and whatever. But that's a mindset. Like that's a mindset for you to get into something like that. And I'm just sharing my experience and my perspective, because it may not be for you. It may not be romance. It may be financial, like your financial status. It may be your relationships with your friends and your family. I want to have a solid foundation with my friends, with my family. I want to have a good relationship with my cousins. It takes you to work in here so you can go out and project the right energy. So when it's reciprocated, now we got something coming back and forth that is working out for us. You know, we have to truly be honest. We're not always a superhero. Sometimes we're villains. And sometimes we're not just villains in other people's stories. Sometimes we're villains in our own story. And because we're that villain in our story, we're fucking up everybody else's life. And I'm going to be real with y'all, because people are real with me, and this is why I can sit here and be like, damn, like, ooh, I'm toxic. Like, I be doing toxic stuff. But it's a work in progress. Like, remember that you can always grow. Remember that you can always be who you want to be and expand to reach the areas and the horizons that you'd love to reach. But it all starts with you being honest with who you really are. It's not about you changing your core self, but it's about you refining yourself and making yourself beautiful and great and bold in what you were meant to do, because you have shoes to fill in that body that you have. You're in that body for a reason, and all of it is for great reasons. But sometimes our toxic choices hold us back from living the life that we were meant to live, from loving the people we were meant to love. And also, it stops us from getting love, from receiving financial status, from receiving great relationships, from receiving all the benefits and great things that come with life. It all starts in here. So I, again, will always, as usual, encourage you to reflect and be honest with yourself. Are you being toxic in your life? And if you are, comment below. Feel free to share this video if you feel this is relevant. Yes. And comment below if you feel there is something that you learned about yourself, that, hey, maybe I was a little toxic and that's why this didn't work out in my life. But you changed it and it's working out for you now. Share your testimony, share your story, comment below, share the video, let me know what you think. Peace and love, my friends, and don't forget to live your best life. All right, bye.